Welcome back to another episode of Realty Talk. I am technically not your host.
Oh, God.
But what Anthony doesn't see listed on my LinkedIn experience section won't hurt him.
Perfect.
And now I'd like to introduce you the person listed as podcast intern on LinkedIn, Anthony Joplin. Anthony, how in the shrimp fried rice are you?
Oh, pretty good. Stupid.
I love that this is just becoming a running joke of me saying random things and you being like, this is my comedic life right here.
I can't believe it's the same thing. I should have said something more fun, like feeling pretty stir fry for a white guy. I don't know. That was funny.
Is that a Weird Al song? Because it should be.
It might be. It might be where I pulled it from.
Oh my God. Okay, so how are we supposed to function on this episode now?
I knew I shouldn't have gone Asian with it. I should have gone pretty fry for a white guy.
That was so good. Okay. So today we will be talking about housing market trends.
Jesus.
There's no other way to transition.
This is it.
So,
Dead puppies, dead puppies. No.
So I want this to be an all-encompassing discussion of trends.
Okay.
Both for trends that never go out of style in the housing market and trends that may come and go more quickly.
Cool.
And trends more specific to the house itself.
Okay.
And then trends in the market.
Okay.
So we're trending.
Okay.
For example,
Okay.
one trend that I love is Pantone's color of the year. Oh, he's rolling his eyes. As the name suggests, Pantone picks a color of the year. Mm-hmm. It's a whole big shebang. Uh-huh. If you're interested, the 2024 color is Peach Fuzz. And without even realizing that that was the color of the year, that is now the color that will become in my bathroom. Yep.
Stop.
It's not like specific Peach Fuzz. It's like in the same realm. But it's funny how that kind of works out, that because this color is popping up on more than just Pantone's website. It kind of transcends just Pantone to be like a trending color for many brands to use.
I'm going to feel like fucking John Krasinski in The Office the whole rest of this podcast.
He's just going to be looking at the camera in weird ways
Just
the whole time.
breaking the fourth wall.
But I mean, I think it's interesting that trend kind of goes throughout, that it has a lot of influence like that. As
far as colors go, or as far as a big company creating a trend based on their advertisement scheme.
Exactly. Okay. It goes both ways.
Yep.
They're
like an ace.
Yeah. But it's like, there's some market research done. They've started to see the trends of colors being used more often than not, and they make their marketing around that. It's genius. I love it. Big fan. Other than that,
I'm not changing my colors.
Okay, then don't.
Peach Fuzz.
Peach Fuzz is cute.
Get the fuck out of here, Peach Fuzz.
It's adorable. And it's bright and lively for a bathroom.
It's bright?
Well, I mean, like,
it's Peach Fuzz. It's a fucking pastel at best.
And it's bright. You know what? Fuck you.
Okay, I'm sorry, dog. Please hit me with your pastel Peach Fuzz. See,
okay.
That's a double entendre. You guys feel that? That was crazy.
I was like, wait, am I offended?
It's all about tonality.
Anyway, there are tons of other house trends, market trends.
Yeah.
But that was just one example of the type of trends you can see in real estate going forward.
Ready?
You have some trends that you would like to discuss, and I'm clutching my coffee. Go.
Awesome. Not off the top of my head. Just kidding. Curved walls. Welcome back to the 90s, everybody.
I was going to say, are we talking about like little alcoves?
Yeah.
I love it. I've always wanted a... Sorry.
Fucking perfect.
Okay, but this goes back to my younger years. In high school, we had to build our dream home.
Yep. The rotunda was a thing.
I wanted a wall that was Because, I mean, I had no budget on
Who the
this
fuck
dream.
knows what an alcove or a rotunda is? For anybody who doesn't know, it's a curved little space, semicircle perhaps.
Yes.
In a room, in a square room. So you have this weird curvature shape that's really hard to make out of drywall. Go ahead.
Yep. So in my dream home that I made up with no budget, I had a whole aquarium as a wall, but then a secret door to get to a library behind the aquarium that was going to be essentially Rapunzel's tower.
Secret time.
Secret tunnel.
Love that.
Yes. And
Secret tunnel.
since then, I've always wanted like a little library area that had at least a curved wall to kind of give the tower effect of it.
Yeah.
Sue me. Don't sue me.
Okay.
But that's a good one. I think that's at least the book girlie's dream.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, it was in Cheaper by the Dozen 1 when they moved to a new house and they had the one kid that got sent to the top room.
Are you talking about Brady Bunch special?
No, I'm talking about Cheaper by the Dozen. And it was an amazing movie, but he got sent to the top room.
Steve Martin?
Yeah.
Got it.
He has
I've
12
never seen that
kids.
movie.
Anyway, well, one of the kids that's unloved by the rest of the 11, odd sheep. And he gets sent to the tower room, and the tower room has a secret slide. I always wanted a secret slide. I would use the heck out of a secret slide.
Now.
Also, that's why I was like, oh my God, another use for the tower.
Gotta have the tower.
Secret slide and library. I love it. Anyway, not a trend, but it was kind of along with I steamrolled
Perfect.
right over your little.
Oh,
Okay.
Honey, all this shit lives rent free, so you're good to go.
Great.
It's like,
What's the next one?
this is a fun one.
Yep.
Red doors, gray trim. Gray, like gray houses, white trim type thing, or vice versa. That was a big fucking thing that went right out. Like that was a big thing for a long time.
It was. I feel
big
like
thing for a long
painted doors that are not
The
just
red doors.
Yeah,
Red doors.
specifically.
Yeah, gray or like muted blue with white. Like those are the trifecta.
Yeah.
Yeah, with like gold finishings.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I don't see
sometimes-
myself doing that.
Yeah, that was a big thing for a while for flippers.
What years was that more common in?
They kind of let it go like a year ago,
Oh,
year and a
okay.
half ago.
I was
It
gonna
was
say.
popular for like 10 years.
Really? 10
yeah.
years? It held on to that trend for that long. Wow.
It was, let me put it this way. My house
Had a red door?
had a peach fuzz exterior with a red fucking door. I'm telling you, it was. Well, it's peach fuzz now because the sun faded it, but it was a little darker back at the time. So yeah, it was. Different times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other ones you can think of?
Yeah.
You've
couple.
seen recently.
Yeah,
Go
the
for it.
Kitchens,
Kitchens.
all white kitchens.
Yes.
Like
That's a
fucking
very modern design now.
platinum fucking white.
Yep.
Yep. So you got like wooden floors, nice furniture, the whole bit, and this fucking platinum white kitchen. Like here's some no architecture.
I was going to say, the room that probably makes the most amount of laundry stains, sure, let's make that all white.
Perfect.
Yep. You'll be sick of how often you see things.
Totally.
I will say this, though. My parents had marble counters.
Yeah.
Very hard to see where something falls.
Different. Whole different animal. It wasn't like a quartz that's all the same with the sparkly.
Yeah. Where you can see, there was something spilled there a second ago. I should clean that up.
Right.
There'd be times I was cleaning the counter. I'm like, oh, there's a crusty spot here. Didn't see that one.
I have dark granite. Let me put it to you this way. You just Swiffer that bad boy every couple of weeks.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because it gets crazy. You can't see it.
You can't see it.
Can't see it. That's
All
pretty
right.
good.
So all white kitchens. I'm thinking accent walls are becoming, I guess, more prominent, I
Yep.
think. There's not just one color to a room. We're picking walls.
Nah, accents were big about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're coming back. But what they're doing is they're doing them in like the den, the game room, the whole thing. Bedrooms are big accent wall ones, but they're doing them with the TV on them. So you have white walls, dark, because the TV is contrast.
Yeah.
So that's a big one.
Wallpaper definitely making a comeback.
Fuck me. I have never thought wallpaper was a good idea. And then I saw this one where it's in our office now. It's so good. It's in our office. There's
Yes.
literally monkeys
Yes.
fucking chain smoking cigars and drinking Stoli.
It is in the bathroom, though.
It's amazing. It's in the bathroom. And
It's perfect.
Yeah, I tell you, shout out to Jackie Jameson whoop, whoop, for putting that motherfucker up. And it's green. It looks like you're in a jungle with some smoking fucking monkeys.
It's amazing.
I'm telling you, I am a big fan of wallpaper now.
Yes. And that's the thing. I was like, the first boyfriend I had, his house was full of wallpaper, but we're talking like it was the outrageous floral design.
Trigger alert.
Where you just like, you look at it and your eyes kind of just get astigmatism.
Yeah, he had floral paper
No,
wallpaper.
it was his parents' house.
So he had floral wallpaper in his room?
Nope.
It was, wasn't it?
Nope. Do you want to know what was in his room?
Oh, can't wait for this one.
Trains.
Thomas the Tank Engine? I'm going to take that as a fuck yes.
No, I don't think it was Thomas. Oh, no, maybe it was airplanes. It was trains or airplanes, but then he had a train that went around the corner of his room.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
No.
But he did paint over the wallpaper.
You don't paint over wallpaper.
Then he took it down and painted it.
There
I don't
you
know.
go. It better.
But what ended up happening wasn't
Did you have
anyone.
the wainscoting?
Huh?
Did you have the wainscoting? The thing halfway up?
No. It went forward blue with the logo.
You're fucking around.
No, I'm not.
Forward blue?
Yep. Like that nice royal
Gentlemen,
blue.
in case you were thinking about painting your bedroom forward blue, think again.
With the logo.
Because you got another thing coming. Wrong episode. Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome.
yeah.
My brother-in-law would have that.
Yeah. That's where I started learning to hate wallpaper.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is from the 70s or 80s.
Wow.
And then, yeah, your wallpaper in that bathroom.
Wainscoting. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah,
so good.
so good.
So good.
But now I see in my design process of what do I want to do with the house? And I'm like, oh, I want to do like these kind of stripes or this geometry thing. Yeah.
Yep.
And then I look it up and they're like, that's wallpaper. I'm like, am I going to be that person
Probably.
that has wallpaper in their house and is also at the same time has always hated wallpaper?
The good news is they have the stick paper now. So instead of like putting the glue on it and then
that's true.
rolling it out and then having to scrape it in case anyone's ever hung wallpaper before, you get me? Not that old. I just look that old. They have the stick-on paper where you take it off and then it's like you do this top stick and then you peel it off and then it kind of and you scrape it. So
And then that's how you get the air bubbles, the
Yeah.
ginormous ones that you're like, fuck, I hate wallpaper.
happens. I recommend a sausage pricker. Google it. So
I feel like that's a trap. Sausage pricker. I'm going to find some really weird searches. I know that.
yeah, it's literally a thing. So if you make sausage, it's like 3 little like needles, and then you poke the sausage and it lets the air bubble out without breaking the sausage casing.
Oh, okay.
So that's what that is. In case anyone ever makes sausage, hashtag the sausage maker is where you get it.
Gotcha. Good to know.
Anyway, it's my podcast. I can do what I want.
I understand. Thank you
Thanks.
for putting me in my place.
Stop.
So anyway, accent walls, wallpaper, modern design, all white kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see any more trends in the sustainable
Desertscape
desertscape?
happening all the time.
Oh,
Big one. That's going to be probably the number one.
really?
The lawns are going out and they're doing either desertscape or if it
Oh,
depends
okay.
on where it is.
Yes, I understand what you're saying, but that makes sense for our area.
Well, you could also have like it depends how like I'll put this in air quotes lush the area is. You could do
Right.
like a lot of perennials. You could plant like some really nice stuff that blooms all the time.
Yes.
And that go great with like bees and hummingbirds, and now they all start to pollinate each other. So you have these congruent plants that all fit together.
Yep.
And then you don't really have to water them. You do, but not to the effect of like a lawn or
Right,
something like that. So you
exactly.
still have like your beautiful plants in this garden, but that's all like local style.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's absolutely fantastic. I'm a big environmental nerd-ish when it comes to that kind of stuff, because having worked at the safari park before, they teach you all about the indigenous plants
Yeah,
of the
totally.
area. And
And some of them
actually,
are beautiful.
well, yeah, did you know the California coastal sage scrub is the second most endangered wildlife on this planet?
Sage?
California coastal sage scrub.
I plucked that shit. I'm like, give me that.
Yeah, it is.
I'm like,
it's-
I'm using it for dinner. Like,
It can only grow on the coast of California up to 50 miles inland.
are you kidding me?
Yep.
Wow, look at that.
Yep. So,
The more you know.
and another fun little fact. Sorry, I'm showing my tour guide now.
Thank God.
So a lot of people
What are you,
think
hourly? Sorry.
What? So it was always interesting because a lot of people think, oh, it must be so endangered because of all the wildfires, right? And you would naturally think that should be the case. It's actually because we're building so much in California, and we keep going inland, and it can't go any farther than the coast. But then also at the same time, the California coastal sage scrub has little seeds on it that kind of look like popcorn bushels. The only way it can spread its seeds is through intense fire. So in the summer, it dries itself out to set itself on fire.
That's hilarious.
Yes. So I'm like, oh, actually, no, the fires help that one pollinate itself. And people are astounded. I was like, yeah, so if we get a wildfire, not to say that some people aren't doing stupid shit with their gender reveals and causing wildfires.
Hilarious.
Then you have the fire departments who do the controlled ones.
Yep.
There are times where there's just plants out there combusting because that's what they want to do.
They're like, hey, set me on fire, bad boy.
Let's do it.
What is this, Burning Man fucking
Flame me
Sage
up.
Edition?
Flame on. Let's go.
Look at that. There's no evil spirits near that plant.
Nope.
See, burning sage, the whole thing.
It was really nice.
Whatever.
So that's actually very interesting because the sustainable desertscape of it all. I'm a big fan of doing that. Plus, if you don't have to pay as big of a water bill, that's always a plus.
True.
And I'm thinking another big one is probably more homeowners trying to find office spaces, a loft area, because remote work is taking off. Really? I would have expected. Really?
Yeah. Everyone's trying to get people to go back to work.
Well, yes, more people are trying to get people back in the office, but I feel like the workforce side of it is trying to stay remote.
It's not going to happen. You're going to get people going back, not to office spaces, but you're going to get the co-op spaces. Mm-hmm. You're going to get the WeWorks. You're going to get all the hybrids where you're going to get multiple things. So here's a fun one, like the food court down by Liberty Station, where you have a communal gathering space with lots of different things. Yeah, that's what you're going to see.
Yes,
you're going to see that. You're not going to see like an office fucking building with a bunch of suits and ties walking through. That's pretty much over.
Yeah.
Especially
we had our 4 years of fun. We're done.
Yeah, it's happening. I mean, there's so many people who are like, oh yeah, your hybrid work. By the way, your Monday. I saw this freaking Instagram bullshit today. So it was like, oh yeah, your hybrid work. Congratulations, we're gonna hire you at whatever an hour, and I'm so excited to pay rent. I mean, work with you guys. I was like, that's fucking funny. Uh-huh. And she's like, yeah, your hybrid schedule is going to be 9 to 5, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And, weekends, you can definitely work from home.
Oh, God.
Saturday, Sunday, you can work from home. And those are salary positions. And I was like, oh, my God. This is my bones. It's just funny.
Yeah, no, my last job tried to pull that shit on me.
Fuck that.
I don't work there anymore.
Yeah, thanks. That's what's happening now is they're bringing people back. So
then I should be thankful for the work that I do get to do remote. But not to say I don't love coming here. I love you. This job. Please don't fire me. And then
we'll take a poll.
Should she stay
or should she go?
You decide my fate.
Oh my God! There's a poll thing happening right here.
Stop trying to put things on.
I keep trying to put graphics on the screen.
No, I can do that one. Okay. It can be a story post. Okay. That'll be an interesting one.
Perfect.
Will I be here next week? Let's find out. All right, so I think that covers house trends for the most part. Mm-hmm. Now let's dive into the really nitty-gritty trends, market trends. So I know you had mentioned in a very fun text message earlier today when I asked you about this, about a certain trend. So the interest rates and how they're affecting trends right now.
It hasn't affected at all.
Exactly.
I think that's the funny part.
That is such a bummer, though.
Well, so what we're kind of seeing is that it depends. Again, each neighborhood's gonna be different, right? Mm-hmm. So what we're seeing a lot of is that the sellers may be coming to market, right? The buyers want to buy. Interest rates allowing more buyers in the market.
Okay.
But because inventory, as the inventory starts to increase, prices are starting to decrease. So we've seen about
Yep.
a 5-7% decrease in prices. But the problem is that it hasn't caught up with the vast majority of buyers in this price range, right? So if you have $1 million property and you lower it and now you're at like 960, that's not set at 930 even.
Yeah.
You're still the guy who's sitting here at an $800,000 purchase availability, even though the rates did help, there's that disconnect. So
Yeah.
the buyer to seller equilibrium is kind of tough, where you still have the buyers who are going, man, I want those houses. I'm trying to reach for them. And the sellers still won't come down on those prices.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not enough inventory to flood the market and be like, yeah, you've got to go to that. Or there's not enough need to go to that.
Yeah.
So you still have that disconnect where the prices are still pretty strong. And even though the rates did help a few people, I mean, FHA for sure, conventional large balance, which is where the most prices in San Diego land, it didn't help at all. So like high balance rates are pretty much the same as they were a year ago.
Oh my gosh.
So it just depends on the product, right?
Yeah.
Because again, I'm only speaking to loan products versus, what they can afford.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for anything over like 760,000 rounding, right? You're going to end up in jumbo. You're going to end up in high balance, and the high balances are still pretty high rates. Now, if you're looking for, something below 760, you could probably find something and get a really smoking deal on it based on your rate.
Yeah.
But your price is going to be pretty heavy too. So you have a condo, a 2-bed, 2-bath, $700,000. You could buy that for 5% down, 3% down, 3.5% down, whatever it is, and then that's going to be a pretty good deal versus your high balance going to be 2.5 points higher.
Okay.
I mean, I'm talking like 5 to like 6.5, 5 to 7, 5 to 7.5. Just depends.
Okay. I don't know if you can answer this question. Based on previous presidential election years, is 0.5% the norm for the drop that we usually get, or is there a norm?
There is no norm. No, what you're going to see is you're going to see a lot of pullback as far as like, oh, we're all going to get really conservative, like, oh, hey, so, no one's going to do anything. And then right before the election, you're going to see all the prices start to drop. Gases drop. Gas is going to drop. You're going to see prices are going to start to kind of soften a lot. You're going to see some interest rate, not the interest rates drop, but like the cost of the rate drop.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's going to be a big one. And then the second the election happens, depends on who it goes with. You're going to have a really good like December, January.
Really?
Yeah, low, very low. A lot of economics going. The big push,
Right.
and then hopefully first quarter, there's going to be this big push for trading.
Okay.
Trading property, trading loans, trading anything. The market's going to go fucking crazy.
Is that usually what ends up happening? Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think we got spoiled with the August rate. And
that was good. That was good. But that's because the entire global economy was like,
yeah. We love that. Gotta love those moments. Uh-oh, another apocalypse is happening? Okay. One of those once-in-a-lifetime events that we've lived through 20 already.
Yeah, this is number 7.
Yeah, we're just like, I'm numb to it. Let it happen. Mm-hmm. Jesus, take the wheel. That's a Carrie Underwood song.
Oh, my God.
She knew what she was talking about. So anyway.
Yeah.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Something interesting to note. And then I wanted to talk about affordability too as a trend, because I feel like within, not to say this anything is happening right now specifically, I'm not going to say like it's a buyer's market, it's a seller's market, whatever the case may be, but there's always the give and take of the flow of that kind of trend.
Okay.
So when it comes to affordability, is there one side or the other that benefits more throughout these trends? And if so, what would that be?
Okay, so I think we're thinking of a different perspective.
Okay.
The affordability number right now is 1.3.
What does that mean? On a scale of what?
No, totally. Yeah, no, listen, it's all here in my brain.
Got it.
Sprinting.
Right.
Cheetah sprinting with the mouth is like, you're stupid.
I could give you so many facts about cheetahs right now, but I won't. Sorry, continue. I forgot which job I'm working.
So, damn it, Don, you got another thing coming. So
that's the wrong episode.
So right now, where we see the cutoff is about 1.2, 1.3 million for affordability. People who can buy a house can afford up to about 1.2. Things are over 1.2, 1.3
Who are those people?
are sitting on the market. Like things are like stagnant. I mean, I'm talking about San Diego proper, right?
Right.
So if we're looking at, affordability closes within 30, 60, 90 days, time on market, those are going to be anything over 1.1, under 1.1, 1.2. Anything over 1.2, you're looking at like, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months on market. So that's where that affordability kind of number is. It's not really, is it a buyer, is it a seller?
Yeah.
It's what's the price, right?
Okay, yeah.
It's a factor of what the price is. And we stopped having a lot of implants from what's that? Whatever the word is. They go from San Francisco and the transplants.
I was thinking, is it a plant?
I don't know. Whatever. They go from San Francisco, San Jose down here and they're buying cash. That has slowed down to like a creep.
Okay.
Yeah, because it used to be they would come down, a lot of the Northern California would come down and buy up all of our real estate for cash. So that was a big thing driving the market. A lot of foreign money coming in, driving the market. But now that's cooled off quite a bit. So now you have these inflated housing prices.
Yeah.
And people can't afford them. So they're stuck
Yeah.
at the 1.2 because the sellers won't come off.
Oh, they won't go down.
Right.
Right.
Don't come off them. So there's this, I'm going to regret saying this. There's this bubble that's between what the housing sellers will sell for and what the buyers can legit afford.
Yes.
And there's this little window, and it's about 250, 300 grand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
where someone's got a budge. It's like the sellers are looking at the buyers like, get a bigger loan. And the buyers are looking at the sellers and are like, drop the price.
Fuck you. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. So that's where we get caught. And what's happening is that because these 1.2, 1.3s are selling, but they're not selling all the time.
Yeah.
But when they do sell, and that's the comp. These flips are coming in. So it's creating more inventory in the higher price range.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some kind of correction that's going to happen unless, there becomes more money in the market.
I like money. Okay, so.
I like turtles.
I like cereal.
I like cereal. Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk. I like chocolate milk. Okay. So one of the topics I wanted to talk about was the buyer's market versus seller's market.
Sure.
Because I feel like we hear those terms a lot, but I feel like some people don't know what a buyer's market means.
Yep.
Go ahead and explain that so that way, okay, so buyer's market in that the buyer has more of the leg up on the competition. Does that mean there's lower prices? There's more houses? What is that?
Okay.
What is if someone says it's a buyer's market, what does that mean?
That means if you have, so really what it is, it's the difference between buyers and sellers in the market. So if you have one seller and 5 buyers,
Okay.
it's a seller's market.
Right.
That
He
means-
has the pickings.
That means he's auctioning essentially his property to those 5 people who are going to fight over it.
Yeah.
Okay. Versus
Which would then, I would assume, make the seller's price go up. Okay.
correct, because there's more demand
Yeah.
for that property.
Cool.
Now, if you got 5 sellers with identical properties, get over it.
Cookie cutters, they happen all the time.
And you got one buyer,
Yeah.
the buyer can shop the sellers.
That's true.
And he can go, I would like number 3 over number 2 if you give me a better deal.
Yeah. Are they going to give that information in the negotiation? Like, hey, there's a
No.
house down the road.
No, not usually. Now, good agents will. They'll
Okay.
just be very transparent. Good agents are transparent to a point where they're not divulging personal information.
Right.
But they're willing to say, hey, look, down the streets, you got 50 grand less.
Yeah.
What are you going to offer me here? What's my best terms?
Because I will say, when Cody and I were looking at condos, there was 3 in one condo complex being sold at the same time.
Right.
So there was internal competition. I mean, not everything's, the owners don't talk to each other. Yeah.
So in that complex,
Yeah.
that's a buyer's market.
Right.
But only in that in the walls of that complex.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's how small markets can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So go ahead.
So on the reverse, buyer's market.
Yeah. So the buyer's market, you have 5 sellers, 1 buyer. 5 sellers, 1 buyer. So the sellers want to sell, and the buyer only wants to buy one.
Right.
So now you have that discrepancy. Like, okay, well, they're all listed at 500. I'm going to offer. There's 5 of them. I'm going to offer 400.
Yeah.
And whoever gets close gets the deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, I mean, yeah, in the sense of saving your money, you want it to be a buyer's market, whether or not that is actually the reality of our market right now is a completely other thing.
But get ready for this little side piece into some real estate.
Let's go.
So this is kind of a question that happens a lot, not a lot, sometimes. A question that happens sometimes. You've got listing agents who are like, hey, are your buyers making offers on multiple properties?
That's good. We're
Perfect,
good.
thanks. Are your buyers making offers on multiple properties? And if you say yes, sometimes the listing agent will be like, oh, we're good, thanks.
Really?
And they'll decline your offer. Well, the agents may. And I'm telling you, that's the problem. That's the friction, because now the listing agents are trying to create a seller's market artificially.
Okay.
Interesting. I had somebody ask me that on Justin's deal. He's like, are you shopping this deal? And I said, not if you accept today.
Ooh.
I'm not going to let him know. Fuck that guy.
Right.
FTG. So there's no reason I should tell you how many offers I've written.
Right.
Now, if you want to accept today, we're closing.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
I was at a bachelor party, and he actually countered me. He goes, let's do the deal today. So I countered him back.
That is so odd.
Yeah.
Because I would have never assumed that any one party could alter.
Okay, get ready for this. He had this property listed for almost a whole year.
In Joshua Tree?
Yes. It was nice property.
Yeah.
He had a little above what it was worth. And I mean, I'm talking like 30 grand.
Yeah,
It's not much. Not much.
Yeah.
30 grand. I mean, it wasn't much. So I offered him like fucking 50 G's off. I fucking beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So they came back, like 10, 15 back. Mm-hmm. And I was like, cool, but I want 3 G's in credits. And he's like, oh, they're not going to accept it. I said, then fucking sit on the market for another year. Fuck you. You know what I mean?
Right?
Like, buyer's market.
I would be so pissed if my house is on the market for a year.
And they're fighting. And he told me that the sellers were fighting.
Each other?
Yes. So the first thing I did was I went for blood. I went 50 G's off. And then remember, Joshua Tree, we're like talking about 300 grand here. So
right. I mean,
that's like 30% of the purchase price. So just to know, Justin got a smoke show deal.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
For you.
No, good for him.
Good for everybody.
Everybody involved.
Yeah. That's crazy, though.
Yep.
So do you see that in your dealings that do you ever try and alter the market, and how so? Like, what's your game plan for trying to alter the market? Because I feel like that whole situation is kind of confusing in the sense that, oh, you're shopping around, fuck you, don't put in an offer.
Yeah, that's absurd. That's absurd.
That is weird. That's weird.
A lot of listing agents are like, we can't tell you what the other offers are at.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Right. They're manipulating the market.
So there could be no other offers, but they could say that. Okay, I get it.
Yes.
Lightning is hitting the shit house. Let's go.
And there's a lot of people who don't adhere to the ethics, right? There's not a lot of ethics in real estate. And I hate to say that, I'm a little jaded on this, but I've been burned so many fucking times.
By that statement of I can't tell you what the offers are.
Oh, yeah.
But, well, legally they can't, right? Or
what are you talking about?
Can they tell?
Of course they can.
I have another offer in at
these
X,
terms.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that has to be a truthful statement then.
Honey, yes, of course.
Yes.
Well, if it's not a truthful statement, then they're acting against ethics.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So if they say that, you are under the impression that what they are saying is the truth because of ethics. Mm-hmm. But you've been burned.
Now, what's happening is that they say, I'm not going to give you any information. Come in the best you can. So they're trying to get as much as they can for it.
Right.
Now here's where I'm at. If I have an offer on the table, so say the list price is $500, and I have an offer on the table at $510, and somebody calls me, if it's over list price, and somebody calls me, he's like, hey, listen, I want to figure out where we should come in at. And I'm like, hey, listen, I'll be honest, as a listing agent, I'll be, hey, listen, just giving you the heads up. I'm authorized by the seller to tell you.
Yes.
I have an offer at $510. Here's the rough terms. Here's where I think you would be very competitive.
Okay, there you go.
And that's how I'm able to get better's offer for sellers.
Yeah.
Now, if you ever interview an agent, the agent goes, we never disclose other offers to the other buyers. Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Explain to me. Where is it written down that you can't say, I got an offer for X?
Yeah.
Where is it? That's because some idiot at some point was like, oh, it creates a bidding war. If you don't know what the bid is, how are you going to go to an auction and bid on a priceless piece of art
Yeah.
when you don't know what the fucking last price is?
Yeah, that's true.
10 grand more than the last guy.
Yeah.
By the way, I've done that. And I've won deals that way.
Right on.
Where I'll submit the offer where the price is blank. It'll say 10 G's over the last bid.
Yeah, I think we had one of our agents do that.
It was so fucking sexy.
Nice.
Yeah, it was, but so it could be that they turn around and they go, okay, cool, and then I ask in the offer to see the original offer.
Right.
Yeah, otherwise, proofer didn't happen, picture didn't happen.
Right.
Yeah,
and they would have to show you the
and they have, and they did
offer,
and
okay.
we accepted.
That's
and
good.
the buyer was like, yeah, fuck it, I want this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on.
So plenty of ways to do it, but that's a market manipulation stuff, and there's a lot of like shady people out there. So
There is, and I would assume going into the market without an agent makes that very easy to get manipulated by someone who knows the market and knows that they could take advantage of
I have
somebody.
10 stories on unrepresented buyers or sellers that I don't even want to get into. It's so bad. It's so bad.
We're gonna make that a whole episode now.
Let's not. Let's not. It was really bad. Where they were like, hey, I like you, but I'm going to go in, I'm going to sell my house for sell by owner. I'm like, cool, enjoy.
Call me when it doesn't work.
When they got hammered $200,000 right before they were supposed to close, and they haven't paid their mortgage because it's been a 60-day escrow, and they haven't paid their stuff, and they start getting red. There's like a lot of things happening. It snowballs.
Yeah.
And now they have to accept the offer, 200 G's.
Right.
Because they didn't pay. They were expecting to get the money.
Right.
Including moving into a different property. Versus buyer side.
Yeah.
Buyer makes an offer. He goes, I'm going unrepresented. Right?
Yeah.
And then the seller starts to string him. Right? He says, oh, yeah, no problem. We're good to go. The buyer's like, cool, I'm closing escrow. He has no loans ready to go. He's talking to his guy over at the bank. The bank is like, oh, yeah, we need these documents. And then he drops the fucking ball. Mm-hmm. Now they're supposed to remove contingencies. Now the listing agent's going to say, we're going to cancel you and keep your deposit.
Yeah.
Not knowing that that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Unrepresented buyer goes, fuck, I'll sign whatever you want. I just can't lose my 10 grand. So now he's locked in for the full fucking amount.
Jesus.
Now he can't qualify.
Yeah.
So now you got to get him out of the deal or in the deal with a qualification. Dude, I'm telling you, there's so much. Going up unrepresented is so dangerous.
Has that, and now since the topic is trends, has that ever been a trend that people just en masse just...
No.
Okay, that's good.
No.
And have you ever tried, as a seller's agent, been on the opposite side and been like, oh, we have a buyer that is not represented? Have you tried or worked with a situation like that?
I've asked. I said,
and then,
so there's two things. I've been on the seller side where I've been like, hey, you're an unrepresented buyer.
Yeah.
Do you want me to rep you? That way I can get you all the disclosures, get you good to go.
Yeah.
And the seller's okay with that.
Okay.
Right. So I asked them, do you want me to rep you? I get paid the same either way.
Right.
I'm like, let me at least give you the opportunity if you want to get these docs, get some help. Mm-hmm. I'll be a sounding board for you. I gotta put everything in writing, right? And make sure everybody's compliant. But let me help you. And if he goes, nah, fuck you, I'm good. I got my attorney. I'm like, cool, sounds good. I get paid the same either way.
Yep.
I'm good.
Cool. All right. Yeah, because I feel like real estate is not one of those areas that I would not want help in.
Right.
It's way too big of an investment, whether it's for you or a second property or whatever you're trying to do. That is too much money on the line to be like, I could do it myself.
Well, it's like that, a business. You sell a business, same thing. Mm-hmm. Liquor license, same thing.
Right on.
A lot of paperwork.
So much paperwork. Liquor licenses are so expensive. I remember
it's
when we were looking
not that bad, actually.
When we were looking into it for In Cahoots,
not bad anymore. They've gone down.
What was it?
125.
I thought it was 125 the whole time.
Yeah, not anymore.
What was it before?
120. No, it was 120. It's 125 before.
Okay, what's it now?
Probably like 80, 90.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then that went down a grip.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It depends on who you get, but
yeah, right on. Anything else you want to say on housing market trends? What is there anything in particular in 2024 that you're like, wow, this was a huge trend for us? Or do you see anything moving forward in 2025 that is going to become more popular?
Yeah, ready?
Ready.
This is the number one. Man, I don't want to sales pitch this thing because I keep
I was
hearing,
going to say, I was like, as soon as you said this is the number one, I was like, I'm going to clip the shit out of this.
Okay,
like,
I'll say it. I'll say it. I hate to be clippy, but I really do think legit. This is the number one trend that's going to be happening now. Is it's going to be multifamily, 2 to 4 for people who are going to buy a single family home are going to go to 2 to 4s at the same price point, and you're going to see a lot of multifamily being purchased. A lot of multifamily is going to go on the market. I'm talking about 5 to 20 units, really, across the country. And what they're going to do is they're going to buy those units because the price of a single family is going to be the same price as the multis, and the access to multi-units, right? 0 to 4 or 2 to 4, I should say. 2 to 4 is going to be cheaper to borrow than a single family house. That's number one, as far as lending goes.
Right.
And then as far as the multifamily goes, you have a commercial loan on the 5 to 20, right? Those are going to be really easy to buy based on cash flow, value add, and if you have partners. So if you want to make real money in real estate really quickly, that I think is going to be the biggest trend moving forward.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is a golden nugget of information.
Yeah. And if you want to partner on stuff, we have stuff all the time. California, is really great. Terrible for renters, terrible for landlords, but great for cash flow. And then you have other states that we also invest in. So if you want to get
Which states? Or is it specific to a state or just states in general?
No, we have a lot of, all across the Sun Belt is really great. I like to stay away from snow.
Fair.
Big thing for me. I stay away from snow. So Sun Belt is really great. And then anything that's red is really great because it helps the landlords a lot. So if you're looking to invest in some deals, we definitely have multi-units that are coming up.
Right. And that's going to be investment, realty, homes and loans?
Homes and loans.
Homes and loans.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang. Pow, pow. All right. So I think that's a great way to end the episode. So give us any other updates on listings. Please put that away. Any other listings that we might be interested in buying, how we can invest in the fix and flips with investment, realty, homes and loans, and how to get in contact with you.
Perfect.
Let's go through them.
As far as the multifamily stuff goes, we have plenty of deals that we're seeing all the time. I probably have 5 deals a day that come across my email chain. So I'm in a lot of different groups, syndication groups. So if you guys want to start doing some of those, just see them. It doesn't hurt to reach out. And if you're like, hey, I don't know anything about this,
right?
Let's just practice and we'll underwrite deals together. We'll figure out the cap rate, the NOIs, the cash flows, the EGI, all that stuff.
And is that going to be the same process for purchasing out of state or
it's all the same?
Okay, great.
All the same. Yep. In-state, out-of-state, it's all good. As long as you have good property managers, we're good to go. So that's pretty sexy. I've got 5 businesses. One of my agents pulled up. So he's hot to trot getting those off market now. So if you're interested in owning a business,
right on.
Call us, hit us up. With liquor licenses and without, actually. So they're both.
Oh, that's going to get interesting.
Yep. Anybody looking for commercial lease, let me know. I've got some office space and industrial. We could also convert those too with TIs. And then as far as contact, it's Anthony@JoplinRE.com.
And then website is JoplinRE.com. And if you want to text or call Joplin, start a little conversation.
A little hi,
check
how
in how his day is doing. Get his coffee order. I don't know.
Ew.
619-604-6569.
What's that number?
619-604-6569.
Just want to make sure we're on the same page here with that.
Yeah. And as always, if you need a mortgage loan, Investment Realty Homes and Loans can also help with that process as well.
Yep. That website for that is irhomeloans.com.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode of Realty Talk. Later, Skater.
Peace out, Girl Scout.